Good evening, good day to you. Welcome to FailCraft Casts. I'm Hammy, hope you're well. We are jumping into a little playthrough guide, let's play and investigate of Hearthstone's latest quarter in the Curse of Naxxramas adventure mode. We're looking at the military quarter, the third quarter to release, and we are now going to be playing and challenging the Four Horsemen. So the Four Horsemen being the guards of Kel'Thuzad himself.
The Four Horsemen are my most powerful death knights. I am looking forward to this.
And with an unholy shadow power to draw 2 cards, they're going to be accelerated and having all sorts of nastiness at their disposal. So, as we've always been doing when on normal modes, we just jump in to learn a bit of the fight, to pick a deck that we know, and have some fun with it. Let's see what we've got. And as we are dimming the lights, in we jump. There's Baron Rivendare, who is of course the boss of the Four Horsemen. Well, I'm liking the look of Execute. I doubt that will work against these, maybe. Frothing Berserker's okay. A Cleave will certainly help me get some early game damage. Let's see what the Horsemen have in store for us. Now, we've been playing relatively spoiler free, so we'll be learning some of these abilities as we go along.
Invader, turn away while you still can.
And a brawl is quite nice.
Come, Zeliek, let us have our fun.
Enough prattling. Let them come. Bring it on, you snivelling oaf.
Okay, well, while all of these are live, the hero is immune. I've no doubt they've got lots of nastiness, so I've got to kill all of these before I can kill Baron Rivendare with his relatively low 7 health. But when you think about that, that's 7, 14, 21, 28. Nothing I can do turn 1. So let's see what nastiness that these Four Horsemen have. They've got a Paladin secret. That will probably be the new Paladin secret, I'd imagine. And 1 chip damage from all of them. So I don't know if Brawl will remove them all in one go, but if it will, then it suggests that they'll have something nasty before turn 5. So I'm going to throw down a Cleave to get some damage down and see if Execute is an option. Sometimes on these bosses they prevent particular abilities from working. 2 Paladin secrets, 3 Paladin secrets. Now we can see where this is going. Okay, I'm down to 24. Is this going to work? Yep. Okay, but then when one of your minions dies, given a random friendly minion 3/2, and that is why Avenge becomes nasty. And then Redemption has come back to life with 1 health, so that's going to be coming back on in, and suddenly Thane Korthaz is a bit more dangerous than they were before. I could just remove 1 straight off the table. I'm going to draw a card into a shield block. Now Brawl in theory removes all 3 of those unless they drop hold loads. Has 3 attack if the other horsemen are dead. That is where Rivendare becomes a nasty finisher. But you can see that already by the end of his turn 3, these 4 horsemen have chipped me down to 17 when I was on normal mode. So that damage will stack up. Okay, well, that will let me give the option of 1 removal, but then no, the secret's not going to trigger. So at least I managed to get 1 horseman down. Into a coin. Mark with the horseman, minions and your weapon 1/1, and everything gets nasty. So, if I take all of this damage to the face, I'll be on 13. I can Brawl next go to remove the final 2 horsemen, but then, of course, Baron Rivendare's weapon gets buffed. So, let's go for a Brawl. I remember, of course, that Brawl only removes 1. Silly me. If I armour up, then that will be nice. Unholy Shadow, nasty. So I'm down, I'm not actually out, but I'm certainly low. Right, Whirlwind will let me have some removal, so I think that armouring up is simply risking the removal of this final one will be good, but remember that will then go up to being a +5 weapon.
As it should be.
Oh, fresh Runeblade, so he's got me next go. Frostbolt of all things. Runedare's got major abilities as well. Okay, so we've seen this fight, and we've also seen that I'm about to lose. I cannot take that damage unless I draw a...
Let the pain speak to me.
There we go, Repentance. Health reduced to 1, and then my 1 removes that. So, not the easiest boss and easy. No, Alex Straza is here, but that's not going to help me. Right, so let's tap on the table and have a think about how we can deal with these horsemen in a slightly more efficient way. So we've seen the mechanic there, we see that they just keep chipping and chipping and chipping away. If you don't have heals, then your health gets very low. If you don't get your armour up early as a warrior, for example, that can be difficult. So things I could do, I could go for a lot more aggressive early game control. I'm going to switch to a control warrior that has a couple of cleaves and a couple of brawls, as well as lots of nasty stuff. So we did lose indeed, but what doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
Garrosh versus the Four Horsemen! We shall grind your bones to dust!
And with an Execute and a Fury Warwax, we've certainly got options to do some damage into the early game, so quite happy with that. The shield block, getting the armour and drawing a card early on is probably good as well. Although an Armour Smith and Whirlwinds would also be handy. Want to armour up real quick, I think, on this fight.
Invader, turn away while you still can.
Come, Zeliek. Let us have our fun.
Enough battling! Let them come!
Bring it on, you snivelling oaf!
Turn 2, we've got plenty of axes, so we can drop damage on these at will, and that will at least help us get rid of some of them. Okay, well the 3 will help. We can 2 into something as well. Can even slam into one. We can execute it to another. And that will be rebuffed to a 3-2, which is quite nasty. That will kick around for a while, most certainly. So I'm going to drop this down so we've almost got that with an execute range. Next turn I can shield block, in comes the Rune Blade, and suddenly the new buffed minions are swinging for much more damage. Nasty. Alright, so a core Chronolate can remove one of these threats. The shield block will set me up nicely in terms of armour, but I will take that damage next go. So it really only stalls things by a turn, but it gives me that additional draw. The Gnomish Inventor will give me the draw, but I'm not going to be drawing cards. The core Chronolate will let me trade something here, and then Gormash is not going to do loads. I'm going to go for the shield block. And I draw into an Argus, which is actually kind of useful if I get some more minions out late. Crossbolt freezes me, we get charged into it, some other things. The other option is of course rush into all of these things before he even has a chance to respond. So with a turn 5, an X is not going to do much. Gnomish Inventor will let me draw, the Core Chronolate will at least let me remove one minion, so I'm going to go for that. Okay, well it looks as though this may not be working out quite so well. I can Gnomish in, I don't want to be Argusing in case I can set something up with a taunt. So it feels like I'm just going to have to armour up a faceless Lady Blamo and then drop her Argus. That would be wonderful. He's got 3 attack. The other horsemen are dead. The other horsemen are not dead. Okay, this gives me a chance to get tank in. So copying Blano would be all well and good, but that's not going to keep me alive for quite long enough. So I'm going to have to Argus into some armour.
Hey, give me a minute.
I'm going to tap on the table because I really kind of want to force him to use his weapon and similar to destroy that. However, Consecrate does 2, meaning that Blamo can remove this minion for comparatively next to nothing. Nope, Shadow Bolt even brings the control, meaning that he has the execute. Okey-dokey. 2 losses. So what have we learnt from that? Well, we've learnt that basically by turn 6 or 7 we will get binned, and this will be even more interesting on Heroic. So let's just go totally polar opposite and let's try for an aggro deck or a whole bunch of tanks. Kalento Din could be quite interesting. Just really looking at a sort of good old-fashioned zoo. Let's throw a zoo at it and see what happens. Can we do enough damage to all of those horsemen early in the game so that when it gets to the late game, there is no late game, we've already managed to destroy them.
Gul'dan versus the Four Horsemen! We shall grind your bones to dust!
Your souls
Okie
shall be
dokie,
mine.
Voidwalker, Flame Imp and Direwolf. I'm pretty happy with that as a first turn. He can of course kill a Void Worker in one go. Let's not forget that.
Invader, turn away while you
So
still
the challenge with this is that the high health and chip damage of these will certainly wear away at all my little minions.
Enough prattling. Let them come. Bring it on, you sniveler.
Falling into a Frostbolt certainly means that that's not going to stick around for very long.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
So yeah, I think that with Zoo, we're probably already doomed to fail in terms of us chipping away at these small minions, but not being able to really wipe these out quick enough unless we get all of the small minions in the early game. And that's not going to be happening. Zoo may have been a silly pick. As soon as I look at the high health of those horsemen, I think, you know what, this probably wasn't the best idea. All of the playing and learning and experimenting is all good fun.
You call that a weapon?
Down go the secrets. You know what, this wasn't going anywhere. Let us go for something a bit more sensible. Okay, so one of those starts swinging early. Big chunky minions early to sort of deal with them. We'll be able to wipe them out quickly with tanks that they just bust themselves against. I think there's a reasonable argument actually for going for some kind of rampy type druid deck. And we have a perfect example in I Love Ramp. And also in terms of the Calented in tanks, they're pretty good too. I'm also thinking of the Ancestral Shaman. I'm going to go for a druid ramp. If we get some nice chunky mid-game tanks out nice and early, then it will really crimp the style of those horsemen.
Malfurion versus the Four Horsemen!
We shall grind your bones.
Okay, just a bit of wild growth, that's quite good. Mark of the World will help us tank up, but we'd prefer to have innovates and similar. So we need to wild growth and innovate and similar. Okay, an innovator, Sunwalker and a wild growth. Could have been worse. We could have got something, for example, like
Invader, turn away while
touch
you
ain't
still
going to do
can.
loads, so I'm not going to innovate into anything else. Going to have to tap.
Let us have our fun.
Enough prattling. Let them come. Bring it on, you sniveling oaf.
So we can innovate into a 4 wild growth. Frostbolt. Comes down to 6 with a Sunwalker. That hopefully will cause him some irritation. Okay, so let's see how this works. The turn 4 Sunwalker should certainly slow things down, I would hope. Oh, but there goes the silence, so immediately we've been busted out. Rivendare has Priest and Mage and Warlock abilities, who'd have thought? And the rush keeps coming to the face. I've got some excellent Tempo cards and Healing Touch, so that will pick me up. And I can also fantastically Mark of the World up my Sunwalker as well. Firstly, let's get myself healed up. Lovely. Healing Touch will certainly keep us alive and kick in. And then Mark of the World 2. That is not going to give me quite kill potential. It is, however, going to sort of almost let me pick off one of these. So I'm going to do that because all of these have only got one attack at this point in time. Another interesting option would be to get all of these to minimal health and then try and kill them all simultaneously. But irritants, Rivendare, who knows, it also has Shadow Word Death. So that's thought in my plans on the tank front. I'm of course ramped at this point, so I do have the mana advantage. Crazed Alchemist into a Mark of the World, well that will give a tank for things to stand against. I'm going to throw a tank on him with Mark of the World and see if that will help us as well. Hey, I cannot wait to see what these are going to be like in heroic mode. If they're a pain in normal mode, it's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. So Wrath will let me pick something off and draw. I could very much do with that draw, so goodbye, one horseman. Oh, I actually had a better play than that. The better play would have been to throw a Crazed Alchemist down. And throw the Crazed Alchemist down would have made one of those 1/7s into a 7/1. And then I could have Wrathed, and that would have removed it a lot more efficiently. frustrating. So the bite will certainly armour me up. Let's mark it 1. And I can still alchemist a 1/7 into a 7/1, should I so desire. So do I want to be trying to almost remove this? I'm going to try and make a second horseman, and then fine, I'm going to armour up. And that will let me get a second horseman off the table. Okay, so with this ramp druid we managed to ramp up. Hey, so we might win. I think we've got a good chance here. So we can see that at least Blameau and Rivendare were forced to charge on in and remove my tank, so I can get rid of the last horseman, at least, which is a minor achievement. I'll be happy with that. Bites. Okay, I'm going to bite up. At least I can remember something else, which is nice. I'm not going to take any damage on my hero. Let's sit there. 16-5 with only 2. This could be good. Could this be it? Could this be it? Is it the end? If I turn down the alchemist. Ooh. Weapons and minions 1/1, and suddenly he's got a 5/3 Ashbringer style Runeblade. I just need a minion with charge. Wild Growth will give me an empty mana crystal. That's not going to do too much to help me, is it? Why not? There we go.
You love my new
Birdonk. 1 more damage to the face. And all of these drain lives, removing things. This Imber Warlock Priest. Am I going to be thwarted at last minute just through a lack of cards? That would be most cruel. Oh, Druid of the Claw. Right. Lethal. Yay.
Quarter has failed me.
Well, there we go. After some experimentation, we tried control, we tried aggro, and we finally hit upon ramp. Ramp throwing out tanks and similar. Okie dokie. Well, if you are live on stream with us, then don't go away because we're going to be going on to some heroics next. That's going to be a load of fun. If you are on YouTube or similar, then thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you see that little explosion. We get Baron Rivendare, your minions trigger their death rattle twice. Shaman and Warlock class challenges, which we'll also take a look at, but we're going to be going on to heroics. But if you're on YouTube, here's where you can find us. We'd love to see you join us live. Why not through a follow on twitch.tv/FailCraft Casts. We generally stream Hearthstone 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday, and try and get some more streams in as well. We do pick your own arenas, deck guides for new players, a bit of laddering, and a whole other bunch of stuff, along with some sort of new to intermediate concepts of card games if you're just getting into Hearthstone. If you're live on Twitch, do check out our YouTube. We've got almost 100 episodes of a Hearthstone half hour on youtube.com/FailCraft Casts. Twitter is at FailCraft Casts. We'd love to see you there. When we're not streaming, we chat away there. And we also have a website, failcraft.org. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, this is FailCraft Cast, and I've been Hammy. And if you're on Twitch, do not go away. We're going to be back in just a second. But either way, if I don't see you again, take it easy.